Welcome to Pisces Tarot, and I am your host, Mimi Lightseer. Your business is my business. Today, we will dive into your business with a timeless relationship reading, which means it could be platonic, professional, or romantic. In this session, we will explore the overall energy of your reading, obtain cosmic insights to identify the topics, spill the tea on the energies involved, uncover the positives and the negatives while revealing the lessons that you need to learn, and suggest actions for healings and the best possible outcomes. Remember, this is a general reading, and you have found it when this message is needed. Please take what resonates and leave the rest. Remember, I am LGBTQ plus friendly, using pronouns for storytelling purposes. Lastly, please like, rate, subscribe, and comment. Let me know how this message is connecting with you. And without further ado, let's get into your business.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Pisces Tarot, everybody. I am your host. I am Mimi Lightseer, and over here at Pisces Tarot, your business is my business. And ooh, child, we about to get into somebody's business. Oh my goodness. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Good morning to all of my guppies, my friends who are on the graveyard shift. Good evening to my international family. What's up to everybody watching behind the scenes or front scenes on TikTok today? We gonna try it. We just gonna try it and see how it go today. If you are new to the Pisces Tarot experience, go ahead and put a star in the chat. If you are a returning friend, go ahead and put a fish in the chat. We love to recognize all of our new and our returning friends and guppies over here into the sea. So good morning, and welcome everybody. Today's agenda consists of a brief energy cleanse followed by a sound bowl cleansing. Then we'll get into this divine insight, which will have a download for you guys. I have a download. Okay. Then we'll get into this overall energy reading and cover with some insights and observations. And then I'll confirm everything of what I've told you with the tarot cards. And then we'll bookmark this with some closing thoughts. All right. So if y'all ready to get into this, I'm telling you, I am bubbling this morning with excitement. I have this immense energy, fire energy. Spirit is coming through. I don't know exactly who he is coming through for today, but it is coming through with the fire and with the passion and with an excitement. Okay, so if y'all ready to get into this reading, I need y'all to go ahead and find those scrub brushes, because baby, it's time for us to cleanse our energy so that we can some of y'all been up at work all night, y'all been arguing with folk, you know, you've been out partying all day, celebrating Memorial Day, whatever it is, right? Whatever you got going on, let's get ready to get into this energy, y'all. All right, so put those scrub brushes, because here we go. Now, before we move forward, it's important to take a minute just to level set and ground ourselves. And the simplest way to do this is through breath work and sound. Okay, so we're going to take in a couple of deep breaths, hold it, and exhale very slowly. With each inhale, we want to invite clarity and balance. And with each exhale, we want to release any tension or distractions. Okay, and we want to do this 3 times, y'all. All right, so here we go. Ooh, it make my feet tingle every time. All right, we're going to clean the rest of our energy and bring us one with our girl Boo Boo here. Here we go. Divine Spirit, I call upon you and ask you for your guidance and your wisdom during this reading. Please surround me with your light and your love. Help me to receive clear and accurate messages. May this reading bring insight and clarity, and most of all, understanding, for the highest good of those who are involved and for the harm of none. Amen, 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 amen. All right, y'all, listen. if you want to get into this and have some fun, honest, safe interaction, remember this is a safe space. Your honesty and your transparency is appreciated. Nobody is judging you. We have all been a fool in love and before, and today just may be your turn. Okay, so if you guys are ready to get into an engaging, dynamic time, I'm trying to tell you, it's coming through hot. So I want you to drop in the chat for me your cooking emojis, because I promise you, Spirit is coming through fireballing this morning. And I mean, I just got a message for y'all. So if y'all ready to get into this, put down those cooking emojis, because honey, here we go. Now, each day before I do a reading, I always take a minute to reflect upon the immediate energies of what Spirit is sharing with me. And y'all, I got to tell you, I got a download this morning as I woke up. And, well, let me be clear. I had trouble going to sleep last night. I'm having trouble still being asleep. That's why I'm here. But what happened was, I ended up going to go brush my teeth, and I heard in my mind, as an earworm would normally come, an old spiritual song, okay? And the spiritual song was, He's an on-time God. Yes, He is. Now, if y'all know what I'm talking about, you're going to respond back with a on-time God. Yes, He is. Okay? Now, what does that have to do with anything? The point is, divine timing. We always talk about it. And we always talk about how there is no such time as a perfect time, but there is a perfect time when you're reliant upon divine timing. Okay? Things don't ever happen the exact way you want them to happen when they happen, but when they happen the exact way that they need it to happen. Okay? Case in point, I was having a conversation with a past boyfriend, and I don't know what they were going through in their life, but they wanted to offer to me the fact that they kind of had some regrets about how things have happened. And my response was, very gentle, because for me, I have no regrets, but I didn't want to share that in a way that would be demeaning and disrespectful to their feelings. So I said in response, things happened the exact way that they needed to happen. And had there been any type of shift or alternate decision being made at the time that it was made, that would have caused us both to be off course with who we are today and where we're going today, right? And I thought back to that period of time, and I was like, so much about myself would not be the same, if I had have stayed in that situation. And it wasn't a negative situation. It was just one of those things where two people grew apart. Okay. And my point in saying that is, when it comes to divine timing and Spirit being on time, it's important for you to know that there is no delays. Is very precise. And without going there and getting all deep with it, right? Timing is so precise. And when you are dealing with spiritual time, you understand the preciseness of it. You have a little bit more patience for it. I ain't going to tell you it's going to be less irritating, okay? But there have been plenty of times where I have been on my way somewhere and I couldn't find my keys, or something that I never misplaced is lost, and now I'm running late. Or I hit a light, or something happened and I was delayed a little bit temporarily here. But later down the road, I saw a major disruption, a major incident that could have easily been me had I been on time. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm telling you today is that Spirit is coming through and showing you and telling you guys that whatever it is that you have been hoping for, whatever it is that you have been wishing for, things are happening in divine timing. And that's what we have got to come to grips with accepting today, that things are happening. Whether or not you see it with the naked eye, things are, whether or not it feels like it, things are happening. We don't know that we don't feel this planet moving, but we know we going around in a, 365 circle. Okay, you know it. The only time you feel this planet moving is when there's an earthquake. Okay, that's it. Other than that, you don't feel nothing shifting. You don't feel nothing changing, but it's changing. You don't see the seasons changing until you realize that the days are either getting shorter or the days are either getting longer, but they're changing. Okay, so all I'm telling you this morning is divine timing is at play and spirit is on time. Okay, and I don't know what that has to do with your love reading today, but I promise you we about to find out. What does said divine timing have to do with anything? Woo-wee! If y'all ready to get into this reading, I definitely want y'all to put those tea kettles in the chat, because baby, it is time for us to get into this. We got to find out and we got to know, what does divine timing have to do with love? Maybe it wasn't the most opportune time before, and now it is. Maybe you was in a situation with somebody else, and now you meeting somebody else that you're supposed to be meeting. Maybe you met someone else in the past, and now it's time for them to turn around and come back. It could be a combination of all of those different things. I don't know, but we about to find out. So if you with me, go ahead and put those tea kettles in the chat, because it's time for us to get into this. Here we go. When understanding energy, it's important to know that spirit speaks to us in an abundant of ways. And sometimes it's through signs, synchronicities, confirmations, numbers, colors, you name it. He can talk to us through animals. He can talk to us through, when he speaks, all right? So you may be wondering, what is the overall energy reading for today? Broken open. When we talk about something happening, there was a shift that happened. Something that happened that brought you a lot of peace. Something that happened that brought you a lot of clarity, a lot of serenity, a lot of grounding. Okay? There has been something to happen in your life that where you may have felt like you were broken apart, you were broken open. Okay? You had peace. We're not questioning it. We going with it. All right? What is the truth that we need to hear for our journey? What is the truth that we need to hear for our journey today? Have some patience with yourself. Have some compassion and some empathy for yourself. There's a video going viral now where there were some young men in Tennessee who recorded questions in the 6th grade that they followed up with as they graduated from college, and they answered the questions from their younger self. And it was powerful and insightful because your younger self is asking the mature you questions. And I think if you look at yourself holistically and say, as this person today, I will be so proud, or as the person that I was yesterday, I will be so proud of the person that I am today, because that's the only way that you can truly measure your growth. And you have to continuously remind your inner child that you are safe, that you are loved, that you are cared for, that you are guided for, that you are protected, because a lot of your traumas show up materially in your life today from the things that you've experienced yesterday. Okay? So be gentle with yourself. I don't know who this is for, but please be gentle with yourself about where you are. Your condition is no less vulnerable and fragile today as it was yesterday, right? I don't know what spirit is talking about this morning, but I hope it resonates with you because it is coming through. All right, what is the truth that we need to hear for our journey? Denial. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with insight and awareness. Okay, so this is about, you may have been in denial about it, may have been a little bit refusing to accept the way that things have materialized, the way that things have metastasized, allowing your fear to speak. And I guess that's where Spirit was coming through with talking about the need to be gentle with yourself and accepting who you are. Let your mature you still cater to the immature version of you while acknowledging and accepting that you have grown, you have evolved, you have become. You are becoming. And being gracious with yourself in knowing that such divine time, you are being prepared for such a time as this. You have been prepared for such a time as this. You may not believe it, but there is a thing called divine timing. It may not always be perfect in the 3D, but in the 5D, it's always perfect. It's always right on time. And you don't have to worry about things working because you know when it works because it goes with the ebbs and the flows. You feel it. You see it. You become it. You embrace it. It's so interesting how we're so open and receptive to divine timing when it works for us, but we are resistant to it when it's not working for us. You understand what I'm saying? It's interesting how we are so receptive when it feels good, but we reject it when it don't feel good. It's still the same divine timing. You were born at a divine time. Believe it or not, you're going to leave at the divine appointed time. Everything in your life was accounted for before you got here. Everything. Including your good days and your bad days. Your good relationships and the ones that still leave a lot to be desired. Everything has been accounted for. If you know and you believe that every step, every single step that you take on this side of the earth in life has been accounted for, I want you to flood the chat right now with white hearts. The mask we wear. This is about self-expression, protection, and you being your authentic self. The mask that we wear. Who are you pretending to be today? Who are you pretending to be today? Are you being your authentic self, or are you protecting yourself? Going back to talking about the younger version of you. Okay? Sometimes we do things to protect the younger version of us from being hurt. I'm not gonna lie to you. One of my biggest trauma wounds is abandonment and rejection. Oh my gosh. And to overcompensate for that, I will leave you before you will have the opportunity to leave me. So if I get any type of signs of instability, inconsistency, I'm like, deuces. And a lot of times I have to tell myself it's okay to be vulnerable. Love requires a risk. Period. We all take calculated risk each and every day. Each and every day we all take calculated risk. Okay? So why not go with the flow and see what it is and see how it evolves and becomes. Okay. Now, what words of encouragement do we have coming through today? He said he's on time. All right. Whoop. Oh boy. Y'all, if we start talking about a twin flame this morning, I'm going to fall out of my chair because I'm telling you, it. These two cards just flew out. The first card I see is eternity, deeper union with you. Change me, divine beloved, into one who understands the true meaning of death. Remove my fear of dying. Open my vision to the eternal. May all transitions lead me into deep, ever deepening union with you. Okay? So, this could be about a twin flame. This could be also about you with your ego and your spiritual version of yourself. But this is about something changing. Something evolving, something being broken open. Okay. We also have grace in harmony with the flow. And I talked about going with the flow a little bit earlier. Okay. But this is about you being in harmony with the flow of your life, whether it's good or bad, whether it's calm waters or rocky waters. This is about you going with the flow and it's understanding and accepting that every detail of your life is already accounted for. Okay. May I honor all the ways your grace flows so that I move in harmony with you. Open me to trust and receive your abundant blessings in every way. Okay. So this is here to teach you about how to have some patience with yourself and know that there is a perfect harmony in your life. Nothing in your life is haphazardly happening. Nothing in your life is just falling apart. Sometimes things fall apart so that better things can come together. And it's not sometimes, it happens more time than not. Okay? If you trust and you believe in divine timing, then you will know that there is a time for good days and it's a time for bad days. Okay? That's just what it is. That's just what it is. Now, what is a sign that this message can be for us? Ooh. Child. We got the skull. You may be seeing skulls places. This is about endings. Okay? This is about endings. So if you're seeing a whole lot of skulls, maybe skull tattoos, skull decor like you see here. You may be seeing advertisements of movies or things like that with skulls, but this is definitely about endings, okay? Something in your life is in the middle of a transition, okay? And it feels very complicated, very confusing. But you're transitioning. You're going through a metamorphosis. You're in a cocoon coming out and transitioning into a new phase. And you're being asked this morning to trust with such divine timing. You are being called for a time such as this. Future forward thinking. You are being prepared for the exact thing at the exact time, at the exact place that something else needs to happen and shift. And if you believe that this morning, I want you to flood the chat right now with butterflies. Just flood the chat right now with butterflies. How is this showing up for us in our life, spirit? How is this showing up for us in our life? The grind, okay? Whatever it is that you're being prepared for, as I said, you're being prepared. You are being prepared for the grind. This is going to take a lot of work. This is going to take a lot of effort on your part, subconsciously and consciously. Okay. You are being prepared. You are being prepared. This is about the grind, the work that has to be done. At the beginning of the year, we spoke so much about the inner workings of relationships. And I have that book here. But the work has to occur. The more you resist doing the work on you to prepare your heart, you're just delaying your own timeline. But it's going to be very precise. You think those delays in your life went unaccounted for? No. Spirit knew you was going to be hard-headed. Spirit knew you was going to need a little extra time because you stubborn. Okay? All these things are accounted for. But if you truly want that divine, beautiful, full, collaborative, accepting love that you keep saying that you want and you feel like you deeply deserve, you have to be willing to do the work on you. Because what is in you will come out of you. Garbage in, garbage out. Okay? It's that simple. It's that simple. Now, as we start to shift to more personal insights and shift our energy to the potential parties that are involved, please remember to focus on what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. You would never go down there to the baby Foot Locker and buy some brand new Jordans for them feet, knowing you can't fit no newborn shoe, but you just want them just to say you got them. All right? So don't do that here, okay? Now, the first clue that we have here. Gambling, okay? Remember I talked about taking a risk earlier? Now, on this particular card, it says problems with addiction or gambling, bad finances, okay? But I'm not hearing this as a monetary issue with gambling at this time. I'm hearing gambling with taking a risk, okay? Taking a risk with your heart. That's how I'm hearing it right now. Now, if it comes up again somewhere else confirming it, then we'll go with it. But that's how I'm hearing it right now. I keep hearing that song in my head, y'all. He's a long time God. Yes, he is. I don't know who sang that song. All right. What is the cosmic energy today? Divinity. Every moment is filled with divinity. Cherish it. Now, this is so interesting because I just asked y'all if y'all believe that y'all were going through a transformation to go ahead and flood the chat with butterflies, and like 2 or 3 people responded with butterflies. Here goes the butterfly. You see this compass on here? Talking about divine timing. Okay, we talking about divine timing, folks. If you know you're in the middle of a transition, but you are being guided, divinely guided, which is everything that I've been talking about, I want you to go ahead and flood the chat right now with butterflies, okay? He's a long time God. Yes, he is. Oh, long time. Ooh, y'all about to take me down to the Baptist church. All right, here we go. Compassion. I used that word earlier today. You're being asked to be kinder. You're being asked to be kinder to yourself, to give yourself a break. Instead of being a taskmaster, a bully, a horrible friend, be a loving comforter who always has your back. Okay? Have some compassion for yourself. If you heard me say this earlier in the beginning of this reading when I was doing the divine insights, go ahead and put your ear in the chat. Okay? What is the news here? What is going on? May not come when you want it, but it'll be there right on time. One thing about those Negro spirituals, boy, baby, you ain't got to be able to sing. The person who can't sing a lick at all, kick it off, and the whole church just chime in. Y'all all might sound a mess, but together y'all come together in beautiful harmony. Honeymooning, love on the brain, talking often, feeling all the feels. So, didn't I talk about this earlier? About people meeting someone new? Being ready for something new? Taking a risk? Being prepared? You are being called for such a time as this. Y'all ain't listening to me this morning. Y'all over here just passing time. Ooh, what is the tea? Ooh, Spirit, come through. Spirit just said you was broken down to be built back up. Y'all gotta water my hand. Cooking this morning, okay? Bad karma. Bad karma is here. Okay? Remember we talked about those skulls early on with endings? We talked about endings and transformation 3 different places in this reading so much. Already 30 minutes into it, and we talking about endings, transformation, and bad karma. If you feel like you had to come to the end of yourself and it's been a period of time, a period of darkness, perhaps a dark night of the soul, where you feel like the ego, the death of the ego, your ego has had to happen, can you just go ahead and put the skull or the graveyard in the chat? If you know that you have been being broken down spiritually from an egotistical standpoint to your higher self, going through that transformation, can you just put a skull down in the chat? Rest in peace to our old selves. All right, here we go. What lies beneath all of this, Spirit? Red lipstick stains, okay? And then the other card that came up with that was love story, once upon a time. Okay? This was a love story once upon a time. Mm, mm, mm. When we look into the broken mirror, what do we see? When we look into the broken mirror, what do we see? Egg on their face, ashamed, backfired, got caught. Now, how be it that we just pulled the red lipstick stains and now we got egg on the face? If you know that you have caught your person cheating and that's what caused you to break up with somebody, can you put eggs in the chat? What is the true emotion here? Oh, jeez. 2 cards just flipped out. There was a pregnancy scare, okay? That turns out to be fake news. Okay, so maybe this person may have cheated on you with somebody else and thought that they got this person pregnant. That is fake news. But then we do have a love child here. So this is very interesting. Okay, very, very, very interesting. All right, now what's going on here? What in the world is going on here, Spirit? We got person A here, which I feel is you going through your divine metamorphosis, okay? May have been wearing a mask, pretending that you're not hurt, pretending that you're not disappointed, pretending that you're not crushed, needing to give yourself some compassion and some empathy. You may have been hurting with how this love story came together for you. You may be hurting. You may be in a place where you were all in. It felt good. It felt exciting. You felt invigorated. You felt alive. You felt like things that you never felt like this before. You never had this level of joy. You may not have had this level of I can't, you know how sometimes people, when they are in love, they just glow and they're like flowing through the moon. Okay. Everything about them is glowing. You may have been so elated. That was the word that I was looking for, that you just couldn't come down from it. Okay. And you may have been honeymooning, right? Had love on the brain, talking often, feeling all the feels. Okay. Meanwhile, person B over here, well, let me just say this. You took the risk. Okay. You took the risk. All right. You took the risk. Now, person B here may have brought some bad karma into your life. Okay. Some things that you may have done in your past life may have come back up through those trauma wounds, but this is also influencing the shift, the transformation, and things that need to occur. Okay. With this, there may have been some allegations or some evidence of some infidelities, okay, with this red lipstick. There may have been a pregnancy news DNA test. They may have told you that it was a lie. It was not a lie. The lie detector test determined that was not a lie, because we do have a love child here, okay? So this person may have been a liar, a big time liar, and now they got egg on their face because they feel ashamed, things backfired on them, and they got caught, all right? Now, I don't know who business this is, but I want you to go ahead and start dropping them zodiac signs in the chat. Drop them zodiac signs in the chat, because it's time for us to figure out whose business this is. Remember, I do my readings for Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. So do not overlook a message without considering the placements of you and your person. I could be talking about you dead to your face and you wouldn't know if you don't know your placements. All right, here we go. All right, Spirit. Who is person A in all of this? Who is the person who is being broken open? The person who is healing from a heartbreak. The person who you are calling and preparing for a time such as this. The future self version of them that is going to come in contact with this loved person. That they're being transformed, that they got to do the work, that they're healing. Who is person A? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Where are all my earth signs? If you have air signs. Air signs. If you or your person has air sign placements, I want you to put the clouds in the chat for Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You are coming in this morning as the star card in reverse. This is having a lack of faith, despair, discouragement, feeling insecure, needing to trust yourself, and feeling disconnected. That is everything that we just been talking about. I swear it is. All right. Now, if you or your person is a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, go ahead and put those clouds in the chat. Alexa, turn back on living room light. I don't know why she do that. All right. Dang on moth done got in here. All right, person B. Person B. Who is the person who cheated on person A and now they feel stupid? Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Where are all my earth signs? Earth signs, put the earth down in the chat. Okay. You are coming in today as the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. This is about you learning your self-worth, hustling, living beyond your means, obsession with work, and false sense of success, which also goes back to that egg being on your face. All right. Ooh, child. If y'all ready to get into this reading, I want y'all to put those magnifying glasses in the chat. Put those magnifying glasses in the chat. Put them in the chat. Baby, we about to zoom in. Listen, we don't judge, but we sure finna get messy. And if you hear cross watching, just continue to be entertained because today ain't your turn, but tomorrow might be, boo. We always talking about somebody up in here, all right? All right? Put those magnifying glasses in the chat. Magnifying glasses in the chat because, child, it's time for us to get into this. Here we go. All right. I don't know. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't know what it is about air and earth signs, but I feel like out of all the combinations of people to do a reading on, I'm always doing readings on Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. I don't know what it is about y'all and y'all toxicity, but child, y'all always got something going on. Good grief. All right. If this is you or your person, I want you to put a red heart in the chat. If this is you or your person, I want you to put a red heart in the chat. A person in the past, person in the current, however it is. And thank you for saying that, Miss Tiffany. The energy can be inverted, okay? So you can be person B feeling like person A. That's how it goes, okay? I'm just telling you a narrative just to get this out there to the collective, all right? Now, what is going on with my Gemini, Libra, Aquarius today? All right. You starting off this morning with the High Priestess here, okay? This is about you tapping into your higher self. This is about you knowing, even when you feel like you are going in a negative situation, it feels like you've been put to sleep. your eyes are still open. You're still aware. You're still conscious of what's going on. And yes, even though you are dealing with a lot of disappointment and a lot of heartbreak and a lot of grief right now behind this connection, you were so excited about this. Let me just start there. You were so excited about this until all of a sudden you wasn't. Aww. You really thought that when you came into this connection, this was your it. This was your person. This was everything that you've hoped for, you wished for. You felt like you were being divinely guided and being protected. There was something about this that was pulling you in this direction to go towards this person. If you felt attracted to this person like a magnetic pull, I want you to put the magnet down in the chat. Your steps were still being ordered. Okay, you were being guided and you were being protected by this energy. Hold on, let me fix this camera, y'all. Sorry. There we go. You were still being guided and you were still being protected. And I know it doesn't feel that way. Wow, what am I over here doing, y'all? Okay. There we go. Now, sorry about that. You were being guided and you were being protected. There was a lot of things that was pulling on your consciousness here. Things that were keeping you feeling like, dang on, but anyway, Spirit was guiding you and protecting you throughout all of this. And I know that you feel abandoned, you feel left, you feel alone, you feel isolated, you feel lost because you were so sure about this particular person, only for things to crumble the way that they crumbled. This was heartbreaking for you. Not only was it heartbreaking for you, but you may have rejected that spiritual side of yourself. You may be having a lack of faith, the lack of confidence, the lack of strength. Like there's an anger here. You may have stopped praying. You may have stopped believing. You know, you're feeling very pessimistic right now. Okay. And you have every reason to feel this level of negativity because of the heaviness of the disappointment. Okay. You have every reason and every right to feel that way. Okay. Spirit is acknowledging that it was a less than desirable experience, right? This was a very So I'm gonna be interrupted by everybody today. First Alexa, now Siri, you know. Anyway, you were being very, very, you have every reason to feel the level of disappointment and pessimism and disappointment and just heartbreak that you have felt, because it was devastating. I don't know a person alive who wants to be all up in the ebbs and flows of feeling like you feeling in love and everything is working out for you and getting to that point where you're like, okay, well, what's the next step? And then all of a sudden you come into a situation where now you feeling stupid because they made a fool out of you with their bad choices and poor decisions. If you know what I'm talking about, when we talk about this level of heaviness, this level of sadness, this level of despair, this level of depression and hurts, the embarrassment, okay, that emptiness, that just sickening feeling that is so disgusting, okay? If you know what that feels like, I want you to go ahead and just put the broken heart in the chat. If you know what, it doesn't matter if you person A or person B in this, if you know what that feeling feels like, that sunken feeling, I want you to put a broken heart. Flood the broken heart with the flood the chat with the broken heart, because we've all been there before. Now, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. All right. What do you got going on with you today? That's where that doggone egg on your face is coming in from. You over here realizing that you done fumbled. You over here realizing that you done made a big old fat juicy mistake.
It was at this moment he knew. He fucked up.
When I tell you this person over here is they are so regretful. They are so disgusted with themselves.
You look so dumb right now.
When I tell you, there are no words to articulate to you how remorseful they feel, how angry they are with themselves and disappointed with themselves, how they just, everything about them is in shambles right now. And that's the best way that I can put this in an articulated way. They will never admit to you in words how they feel, but deep down inside, there is a immense regret here. If you remember when I was talking about the death of the ego in the beginning of this reading, and when we were talking about the efficacy of being broken open, I want you to go ahead and just raise your hand in the chat if you remember when we were talking about that. Because here, what I just picked up was that with person B, there has been a death of an ego here. This person is accustomed to having their way with things, okay? They are accustomed to being chased. They're accustomed to getting what they want. Like they kind of like come with like a catch and kill type of thing, right? They'll start something with somebody just to get it, but it's not necessarily because they want it. It's like they're just doing it to go through the flows of stroking their ego like they still got it. And I feel like this behavior transitioned into this relationship, which made it toxic, which made it cumbersome for you, person A, to feel the legitimacy and the authenticity of the connection, because this didn't happen just one time. This was a repeated behavior over and over and over again, in which you got so uncomfortable with it. You got to the point to where you were just like, I feel stupid. I feel stupid. I feel as though I'm playing myself. I'm betraying myself. And that's where the irritation and the frustration is coming from for person A, because you feel as though you have been guided, you have been protected, but you have been called into this situation, and you sit here looking like a spirit. What's up? You called me to be with this person. You pulled me towards this person. You told me that this was the person that I was supposed to move forward with. And here I am moving forward with this person, only for this person to pull back on me and to renege. It's unbelievable. There are no ways that you can describe how this will make anybody feel. However, let me be the first person to tell you, this person feels like as they should. They feel as they should. Okay? I'm going to tell you right now, they feel like, Because now that they've had some time to process, and they're not finished processing, but they have begun to process the consequences of their actions, they realize that they have compromised a strong soulmate connection here. Okay? This is why they feel ashamed that they got caught and that their sneaky and deceitful ways have come up against them. And I am telling you, surely as today is Tuesday, this person has to reckon with their ego and evolve to become a better person. Because the consequence of this love child is not going away. It's theirs. Now, if you feel like you're relating to person A, can you put an A in the chat? And if you feel more so like person B, I want you to put a B in the chat. Okay? Whose energy do you resonate with more? Now, what is favorable about this connection, Spirit? When I'm telling you, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, you have been in a funk. You have been over here just disconnected in an I don't care phase. And your feelings are very much so valid. You have been betrayed. You have been betrayed. Okay? You have not only felt like respectfully, you feel spiritually humiliated and embarrassed. You feel defeated. You physically feel exhausted. Emotionally, you feel depleted. There is nothing anybody can say or do to you right now that's going to make you feel as if the world is over as you know it. In your heart, you're like, I don't ever want to experience this type of vulnerability again. I don't ever want to experience this type of heartbreak again, this type of grief again. But what I am affirming for you today is that all these feelings are valid and all these things are happening necessarily the way that they needed to occur so that you can grow and evolve and become your best version of your higher self. You have been broken open. It's no longer time for you to continue to be in denial about what has happened. What has happened has happened. Acknowledge that the thing that you regret, the thing that you feared, the thing that you never wanted to experience has happened. Give yourself some grace. Take that mask off. Be honest with yourself about your thoughts, your feelings, and emotions, and celebrate the ending because you are going through a transformation. You're going through a metamorphosis right now, whether you want to admit it or not. And while you're down here in the dumps and you feeling bad and awful and all of those different things, as you should, celebrate the fact that you're coming into a higher version of yourself. Okay? Now, if you've experienced what I'm talking about, can you write down in the chat, how do you feel like this is becoming a strength for you? Being in this sunken place of darkness and like, I just don't care. I don't want to care. I don't want to, you know how it is when we get in those mental funks and fogs. Write down in the chat, what do you feel like is most strengthening you during this time? Because listen, you can't stay in this fog forever. So how do you think that this is strengthening you? I want you to write that down in the chat. Now, what is consequential about this? Or problematic about this? Okay. The Eight of Wands. All right. You may be now looking back at this with regret, feeling like things moved way too quickly for you. Things came so fast for you, feeling like things just never matured and developed the way that they should have developed. But here's the thing. Things happened the way that they were supposed to happen. Things happened the exact way that they needed to happen. You needed to feel the way that you feel. You needed to go through the things that you're going through because God is preparing you for something else. And see, you can't see the forest for the trees because you're not looking at your future self. You're looking at your current self, which is blinded by this big old tree that is here. Here is behind you. So you think that if you reject those feelings, that if you ignore those feelings, if you don't process those emotions, you think that you're dealing with it. You're not dealing with it. You're trying to put something behind you that's still in front of you and act like you don't see it. That's that denial. Okay? No, time is up for that. Things happened the way that they needed to happen so that you could be in the place and in the position that you needed to be in. How many of you are having a difficult time with believing that? I'm just being honest. If you're having a difficult time believing that things happened the way that they needed to happen, just raise your hand in the chat. And then I'm going to ask you another question. Suppose things didn't materialize the way that they evolved. What do you think would have happened had you stayed on that same path? If the truth didn't come out, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, how would you feel then? If the truth never revealed itself, how would you feel if you was walking around here not knowing a thing, thinking that you was happily in love, and turns out this person done out here done had a baby on you with somebody else and didn't nobody tell you? What do you think would have happened? Now, what is this trying to teach you? Well, 3 cards just fell out. The 9 of Cups just fell out in reverse with the King of Pentacles in reverse and this 6 of Pentacles, okay? Remember earlier we talked about bad karma, okay? I understand that you feel like a complete failure. You may feel like every time you get in a relationship with somebody, it always turns out negatively, right? You might feel like you're never getting back what you're putting into these relationships, okay? And what I am telling you is that Spirit is preparing you. You are being refined for a better opportunity that is here. But you can't see that. Again, you can't see the forest for the trees. You can't see your future self because you're looking at your current situation. You're soaking in your current situation instead of accepting the fact that you are being divinely guided. Have some empathy and some compassion for yourself that, yes, you were in love. Had you not taken the risk, you would have never experienced the warm and fuzzies of what you thought the fullness of love was. Okay? You never would have experienced it. But you did. And you needed to see it for a reason. So while you sitting over here being defensive and in denial and putting up mental barriers and, just want to shut down, cave in and quit. All right? Spirit is telling you not to shut down. Don't shut down. Don't give up on love. That person may not have been it, but there is an it coming for you. And you got to be prepared for it when it comes. Because if you're walking around here being scary, not willing to open up your heart and being resistant, you're going to turn off the person that you need to be attracting. So how you gonna ever find love like that? Now, what is this trying to teach you? The Star. It's trying to teach you that it's okay for you to feel connected to God. Don't be disappointed. Get your hopes up. God is working on something for you. Spirit is working on something for you. This is going to require your faith. The same faith that you're trying to deactivate is going to be a necessity for you to be able to move on and to move into your future. But if you keep on denying yourself the opportunity to heal, the opportunity to evolve and transform, if you keep on denying yourself the right to feel what you feel and to embrace what you're going through as a necessity of you getting to where you're going, you're going to delay. You're just disrupting your own process. That's it. And divine timing is at play. Let me be clear. So whether or not you want to heal today, for example, or next year, you still going to be on time with where you're trying to go. But you wonder why it's taking so long. It's because you're refusing to own your skit. Now, I know that this may sound confusing, okay? Because it's like, how do I deny my own skit? Your skit, okay, is healing. Your skit is acknowledging that you've been hurt, that you feel betrayed, that you are embarrassed, that you are humiliated, that you feel ashamed, that you're angry, okay? That you may have some type of adverse feeling to opening up yourself. Those are valid feelings. Your sadness is a valid emotion. But what I am telling you is, once you own the fact that you took the risk, you fell in love, and that relationship came to an end, for whatever reason, once you own that, you can go through your healing journey, your metamorphosis, your change. You can actually feel what spirit has been trying to get you. And once you get to your later self, you will then see everything that spirit was preparing you for that time. Everything that you're going through now, believe it or not, is a necessity for who you will evolve and become in the future. So you can cry about it today, get it out. Soak, do whatever you got to do, but don't stay there. Because you are impeding your own growth. What do you think your lesson is right now? I want you to write that down in the chat. What do you feel your lesson is right now? What do you need to do to heal? You don't have no choice but to heal, Spirit said. You ain't got no choice but to go through it. You ain't got no choice. That's what Spirit just said. You're being broken open. Now the question is, Jabba says, were there any warning signs in this situation? And the answer is yes, there were warning signs. Okay, absolutely there were warning signs. There was inconsistencies in their behavior. Things weren't adding up, but you were smitten. Okay? Were there any warning signs of this situation? The Magician. Spirit, okay, this is making sense now. Spirit just said, going back to this high priestess here, okay, with this magician. Spirit was talking to you the whole time. Yes, Spirit pointed you in the direction of this person. Spirit was also telling you to pay attention to those red flags. You knew what to do a long time ago. Spirit said you were warned a long time ago to stop fooling with this person. But you were so engulfed with this person that you kept on going and you took the risk. And now you mad at him because you ignored him. You mad at your spiritual team because you ignored them. You mad at your ancestors because whoever you want to be mad at the man on the moon. The only person that you really are upset with is yourself. If you know that you ignored the red flags, I want you to go ahead and put the red flag in the chat. Ooh, baby. The Hierophant. This was a lesson for you to learn so that you can ascend and grow and to evolve and to become your higher self. And here we are again with the High Priestess in reverse. So you asked the question about were there any warning signs? Absolutely, there was. Spirit was talking to you the whole doggone time, telling you to abort ship. And instead of you saying goodbye, you decided that you wanted to hold on for dear life because you seemed to think that you could do no better. I'm laughing because I've been in this situation before, so I empathize with you, regardless if you're coming in as the Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or the Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. When God tries to close the door on somebody, okay, you got to trust and believe that when that door closes, that person will be replaced of something of greater or equal value. You will never have something that's for you in your life that is not good for you. Okay? If it was good for you, if it was good enough for you, it will still be there in your life today. Okay? That's why Spirit is saying that you have no choice but to suck this up, Buttercup. You have no choice but to go through this and to feel the hurt and to feel the grief of what has transpired. Because this is trying to teach you to let go of what is no longer serving you so that you can grow into the person that you need to be to evolve and become so that you can be on track for the person that he's trying to give to you.
Oh my God.
Let me tell you something. I don't care what you say. Even our shortcomings have something to teach us about ourselves. There's always a learning opportunity in failure. That's why they call it failing forward. And stop looking at yourself as a failure. Stop looking at yourself as someone who is unworthy or just can't get right, and start celebrating the fact that you are perfect the way that you are. That you are being called to grow and to evolve into something else. Stop looking at this from a deficit. You over here trying to prolong the inevitable from happening, and baby, it's happening whether or not you want it to happen. It's time for you to let it go. If you know that it's time for you to surrender to the divine plan for your life and for the inevitable to happen. I want you just to put up the surrender hands. Just put the little surrender, hallelujah hands, whatever you want to call them. Release. I want you to flood the chat with this release, because that is all this Spirit is talking about today. Spirit is telling you that you have to go through this less than desirable, painful situation so that not only you can grow, you can mature, you can develop, but that you can be prepared for what is to come. It's that simple. But for some reason or another, you want to keep holding on to this. And Spirit is saying loud and clear, you don't want to let go, so I'm going to take it from you.
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
Now, what is it that you need to do? I can't make it up. Didn't I just talk about surrendering? Didn't I just talk about surrendering? If you literally just heard me talk about surrendering, I want you to put a bell in the chat. If you literally just heard me talk about surrendering, I want you to put that bell in the chat. It is time for you to let go. Stop being worried about what everybody else is saying and thinking about you and your journey. This is you and your journey. This ain't nobody business but yours. Ain't nobody going through this situation where can't nobody carry your burdens but you. Can't nobody judge you but you. And you so full of self-judgment. Thinking that you supposed to have it all figured out and perfect. Name a person that came into this world with a map, with an itinerary, with an image of what everything looks like. Name a person. Nobody came in this world with the information of knowing when they're going to be there, how they're going to be there, what it's going to feel like, what time it's going to be, how long they're going to be there. Nobody knows that experience ahead of time. But you have free will. And when Spirit is showing you that you're being disrupted from something because of something else, it's important for you to trust that it is time for you to move around. It's time for you to do something different. When something is taken away from you, it's because it is not meant for you to have it.
Get that garbage out of here.
If it was good enough for you, it would be yours. It would be yours. It's simple. Let it go. Give it up. Don't hold on to it no more. You holding on to all these negative feelings and emotions because what? You embarrassed? Yeah, it's embarrassing. But this ain't the first or the last time you're going to be embarrassed in life.
Embarrassing.
No more than you're going to be the first or the last person that's going to be humiliated by a loved one. That's what happens when you take risk. But every risk is preparing you for the next best thing. Okay? The infidelity was the problem. Infidelity was always the problem. Infidelity will continue to be the problem. Until this person knows how to keep their eggplant or their honey pots placed where they need to be placed, it's going to always be a problem.
There are multiple video evidence, social media evidence.
So this person tried to deny their infidelity. Spirit was showing you. Your friends was telling you. Everybody was trying to tell you. Everybody was trying to tell you. But you was not ready to hear it because you were so engulfed in the lie, the fantasy that you wanted to believe until the truth came out. And once the truth came out, baby.
The lie detector test determined
That was a lie.
Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, you just hurt because you knew all along the truth. You just didn't want to believe it. You knew the truth. You just didn't want to believe it. If you knew the truth this whole time and you didn't want to believe it, I want you just to raise your hand in the chat. Just raise your hand in the chat. If you knew this whole time, in the back of your mind, in the crevices of your heart, that this will happen, because this is a repeated issue. This is a repeated offender. If you knew this, what happened? And you did not want to accept it, because that will be your greatest fear coming materializing. I want you just to raise your hand in the chat. Ain't nobody judging you. Y'all, how we got the star clarifying the star. This has been very disappointing for you. Do y'all see this? This is the third time the star has come up in this reading. This has been heartbreaking for you. And trust me, even though you don't want to believe me, you're not the only person that's heartbroken about this. They are equally, this Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn is equally just as troubled by their infidelities and their indecisions. And because of this, they don't know how, neither one of you, both of y'all feel lost right now. Both of you feel so disconnected from yourselves right now. It's not even funny, because both of you are feeling like lost. Okay? Both of you are feeling like this deep despair. And it's crazy, but it's not. Because if this is really truly a person that you're supposed to be with, there could be a possibility, we can keep going and I'll let you know. It could be a possibility that there needed to be a break here. But at the end of the day, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, you were so frustrated that you believed all of the lies.
The lies. There you go. The lies.
You believed it. So neither one of you know where to go. Neither one of you know how to proceed to move forward. Neither one of you are growing. Both of y'all are feeling stuck right now. I'm sorry, I have not been holding up these cards. You got the 2 of Wands in reverse, and then you got the 3 of Wands in reverse. Okay? Both of y'all are in this place of darkness and sunkenness. Disappointed, hurt, feeling betrayed. Even though one of them did the betraying. You know what I mean? Page of Pentacles. I would not be surprised. Okay? I would not be surprised if you start getting a whole lot of weird text messages from this person, a lot of voicemails, a lot of phone calls. Like, I just would not be surprised at all if this person starts trying to come back around, trying to offer some type of apology, some type of something. I just would not be surprised. But here's the thing. Even with that apology, you get to decide how you want to accept or not, proceed to move forward or not. This is all your decisions.
I want to apologize.
But I feel like even with that, this is going to be an easy decision for you to make. The betrayal that was given in this situation was so severe and so humiliating. Like, there is no greater level of this feeling. Okay? This was just so deplorable, okay? And heartbreaking. There really is no path forward for this person to come back and to fix or to correct the situation, which is also why this person is really drowning in their sorrow about what they've done. Because now they understand that they have compromised this genuine soulmate connection. They thought that they was winning. They wasn't winning. They thought that their success was measured based on how much money they made, how many women they can be with, etc. Okay? And that was a false narrative that they told themselves. And now that you're here, now that you're dealing with this, you guys are just at an impasse. So no matter what they say, no matter what they do, you are not trying to hear any of this. It's nothing that they can offer you that's going to make you feel better about what they've done.
I guess we'll never know.
If you know it's a wrap, and you know that any apologies that this person is going to be trying to come forward to give you, if you know it's a wrap, I want you to flood the chat right now with toilet paper. Because you know right now that even if they did come to say, I'm sorry, what is sorry going to do? There is a whole human being entering the chat. What is sorry going to do? Many of you will listen because you're curious, but at the end of the day, you're not going to ascribe to anything that they got to say.
All a bunch of bullshit.
We know it. We know it. Child, if y'all ready to get and to figure out how this story is going to end, I want you to put the paper, pen, and notebook emojis in the chat. Paper, pen, and notebook emojis in the chat, because now I want to know, how does this end? Because this person created this fiasco. And now that we're here, they act like you're not supposed to be offended. No, clown. You wanted to invite me to the circus? You enjoy the ride. But for me, I'm going to exit the group chat.
Goodbye.
So if you're ready to get into the final outcome, let me see those paper, pen, and notebook emojis. Paper, pen, and notebook emojis. Because, child, it's time for us to figure this out. Now, as we talk about potential final outcome, I say potential because I can't predict free will. I can only tell you what the energy is suggesting. Now, you're going to do what you want to do. Some of y'all be so in love with people, they can just say, and you're going to go, whoo, okay? And you just going to fall for it.
Little butterfly in my stomach and vagina.
Some of you will, okay? Some of you are not going to feel no type of way about what this person did. Some of you going to try to take them back. And I'm telling you right now, Spirit is telling you to pump your brakes. But you're going to do what you want to do. So that's your business, all right? I'm just telling you what I see, all right? Here we go. There's still a vulnerability here and a weakness here. Okay? There's still a vulnerability and a weakness here. Oh, goodness. Hold on, y'all. Somehow this done got switched upside down. Hold on. One more. Oopsie. Okay, still upside down. Hold on. Sorry. What in the... Yeah, there we go. Okay, we good now. We good. All right. Thank you for your patience with that. All right. So there is still a weakness. There's a vulnerability here. Don't expose yourself to this vulnerability just because it's there. Don't exploit it. That's the word that I'm looking for. Don't exploit this vulnerability. When this person calls you with this apology, don't let them come over to your house to apologize in person. Make them talk on the phone.
Do not come.
Because I feel like the moment you give in and allow them to show up for you in this way, I feel like one thing is going to lead to another, and you're going to be reintroduced to this never-ending cycle of confusion because y'all don't went ahead and went to the boom boom room instead of having a conversation like an adult.
Denied.
Instead of you using your words, y'all over here using y'all body parts. And I am telling you that if you should go there with this person, you're only going to be upset with yourself. Because as soon as this is over with, they're going to go back to being the person that they were, doing the things that they do, not caring about you, not caring about your feelings, your thoughts, and your emotions, and you're going to feel even less than what you feel now. So I'm telling you, don't do it.
Makes me like sick to my stomach.
Don't exploit that vulnerability. The death card. Going back to the endings. Stay strong in knowing that everything is happening in the way that it needs to happen. Okay? Stay strong. Hold the line. Okay? Hold the line. Do whatever you got to do. I don't care if you got to block this person. I don't care if you got to delete this person. I don't care if you got to move. I don't care what you got to do. Hold the line.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
Do whatever you got to do. This ain't your battle. This is their problem.
Stupid.
It's their problem. But this is ending a cycle for you. This is what we've been talking about this whole time. This is about you evolving and knowing that you're being called to move forward. You're being called. You're being prepared for another time better than this. Again, the Two of Pentacles in reverse. You know what you need to do. You're not uncertain about that. You know exactly what you need to do. Who cares if their feelings is hurt? Where were they when your feelings was being hurt? Who cares about their feelings being hurt? They didn't care when they was breaking yours, when they was over here in the boom boom, riddling the club up. How they feel about their mess ain't got nothing to do with you. Don't go giving this person empathy and compassion that you're unwilling to give yourself. It's their responsibility to manage their feelings and their emotions. They need to go self-regulate.
Stop it. What?
But them calling you all on social media, sending messages by letter pigeon mail to your friends and all your friends trying to get your attention, that ain't it.
Oh my God, my Shayla.
when they start putting on this show, being extra, because we are talking about Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn being extra, I want you just to look at them and just say, oh, baby, that's nice.
What?
Because where was that energy when you was in it? Where was that energy when you needed them to show up for you like that? Because if they were showing up for you like that in the beginning, we wouldn't be here now, would we, sweetheart?
What the hell? Oh my God, no way. Yeah.
Hold the line. Hold them accountable. Hold them accountable. The Eight of Pentacles. Do the work on yourself as you go through this journey. Do the work. We talked about that early on, about you having to do the work. It's a short-term sacrifice now for a long-term benefit in the future. If you really want to be in a place of where you feel like you're capable, open, willing, and receptive to having an open heart again and be open to the idea of love again, then you need to focus on your inner healing and your inner restoration. Take a step back from dating. Take a step back from dealing with all of these different people that don't add value to your life.
Useless sometimes.
Take a step back. I know it's the summertime. Everybody want to be outside because it's the time to be outside, and everybody want to be cute and all of that stuff. And you can do all of those things. You can do all of those things. But what I want you to do, and what Spirit is telling you, is to take this summer to work on you.
What do you mean by that?
You go to the gym every day to go work on you. You watching what you eat. You doing all these other things to build up your stamina on the external. So when people see you from the exterior, you look like you got it going on.
Who gonna check me, boo?
But on the inside, you're crumbling and falling apart.
Child. Anyway, so
what I'm telling you is put that same level of effort into remediating the authentic version of you. Take off that mask that we talked about. Stop trying to run, hide, and deny who you are and where you are in this season of your life. Be honest with yourself. If it hurts, it hurts. The only way you're going to get to a point to where it won't hurt anymore is if and only if you do the work. And I don't know why we make this statement and say sometimes the trash will take out itself. When has the trash ever taken itself out? If you don't take it out, who's taking it out for you?
Try it.
And we got the Knight of Swords here at the bottom of the deck. Fight for you. Fight for your peace. Fight for your sanity. Fight for your future self. But don't sit up here and get bogged down into the crap of what's happening today. The future version of you is dependent on you doing the work today to heal, to be ready for the future version of you. But sometimes it's hard for us to see it. And I'm asking you to take a step back and stop looking at the tree that's in front of you and look at the bigger picture. If you give up today on who you are evolving and becoming tomorrow, if you give up today, you're going to be ill prepared for what's coming in the future. Spirit could be having the right person lined up for you. Spirit could be waiting with the perfect partner for you. And you not be ready for them. You so worried about what this mofo think because you can't wait to prove them wrong. You can't wait to flex on them. You can't wait. You just want them to be crashing out on the internet about you.
Congratulations! Oh my God.
And what Spirit is saying is, it don't matter what they dealing with. It don't matter what they're feeling. It's not your responsibility to process their feelings and emotions. It's your responsibility to process your feelings and your emotions. If they over here sending you all these unsolicited emotional texts, crashing out, doing things, trying to get your attention, let them do it.
That's funny.
But don't you give in. Don't you give in. Nobody can go back in time and undo anything. All you can do is be better prepared for in the future when the time comes. And if you want to be prepared for your best version of yourself, then it's time for you to acknowledge that you got some work to do now to get ready for that. Now, Spirit, angels, what messages do you have for this Gemini, Libra, Aquarius dealing with this Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn? Does this make sense to y'all this morning? If this message is resonating with you, I want you to give me the thumbs up. Let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. Okay? So right now, you may be in hiding. You may have been taking a step back, not allowing people to know what's going on. You know, a lot of times when we hit these negative spots, we just, we don't accept people's phone calls. We don't want to hang out with folks. We start acting funny because we embarrassed. And I'm telling you that it's okay for you to be sad. It's okay for you to be, in a negative space. But be vulnerable with your friends. They ain't your friends if you can't admit that you're sad. And Spirit said just a second ago, you never know who in your life is going to introduce you to the next person. I feel like you're going to meet your future person through a friend of yours.
Really? I'm sorry. Really? What time are you supposed to be here? I'm only like 5 minutes behind. 5 minutes is a little bit too late, honey. I got somewhere to be. I got an appointment.
Okay? And I'm telling you, this is the irony of it all. Some of you, not all, but some of you are going to meet your next person through a mutual friend, which is still by far the best way to meet people. But you're going to meet your future self through a friend. and you know this person, but you never had romantic connections with this person. You've never had emotion, like romantic interest in this person. Like you saw this person, you know this person, but you did not know this person in this way. It's like you saw them, but you didn't see them. Okay, it's like they were hiding from you in plain sight. All right. So I want you to be open to it, because I do feel like once you it's going to be funny. It's going to be funny, okay? When you meet this new person through your friend, you're going to be in such shock about how you've been knowing this person, or at least knowing of this person all this time. And that's going to kind of like make you kind of feel regretful too. And that's not supposed to make you feel regretful.
What the this cannot be.
Okay? It's not supposed to make you feel regretful. It's about divine timing. So bringing everything in full circle, okay? It's about divine timing. Even though you know this person, or you know of this person, it wasn't time for you to be with that person, and they weren't ready to be with you either. Okay? They wasn't ready. Now they ready.
All right, then keep your secrets.
Okay? So I'm telling you now that if you don't get yourself looking good and smelling good and feeling good on the inside and out, all right, if you don't start working on yourself, baby, the person that God got lined up for you ain't gonna be interested, because they gonna want somebody that's healed, they gonna want somebody that's healthy, and they gonna want somebody that's whole. And when they see that, they gonna be all in. And when you see them, you gonna be all the way in. Yahoo! Because it's gonna look good, it's gonna feel good, and it's gonna come together the way that it's supposed to come together. And you ain't gotta worry about no shenanigans, because this person is gonna be the it for you.
Forever, ever.
You heard it here first. So let me know, how does this outcome align with what you were expecting? Does this bring you confirmation and clarity? Does it bring you relief? Does it bring you excitement? Like, how does this make you feel? All right? How does this make you feel? Let me know down in the comment section below, and let me down in the chat. I want to thank you so much for tuning into the Pisces Tarot experience. If you've enjoyed this reading, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and become a part of my growing community. You can follow me on YouTube at Mimi Lightseer, and keep an eye out for even more engaging content coming your way. I am going to be a little bit more intentional about posting various readings in the community tab. So not only do I post out and share with you guys that I have made an update with the videos in case you missed the live reading, you can go back and watch it, but also share some other messages that you can save, that you can just go back and read and screenshot and do things like that, so you can keep it. Okay, so I'm being a little bit more intentional about that. But for those of you who watched this morning on the live, remember that this reading is here for you whenever you need a little bit of guidance. So feel free to save this link and replay it at any point in time. I love to hear from you. So I know it takes me a while to get back through all the messages, but I want you to drop a comment in the section below and let me know what resonated with you, or if it didn't resonate with you. And if you enjoyed today's session, go ahead and show me some love by giving me a thumbs up. If you like to do a personal reading with me, I am currently booking at PiscesTarot.com, so please don't hesitate to reach out. As a gentle reminder, I will never, ever, ever, ever reach out to you to do a reading, okay? I would never do that. There are a lot of fake, phony, and fraud scammers running around here on TikTok and everywhere else trying to tell people, and you got my face. I'm telling you, they're using my name, image, and likeness to scam you and to defraud you. And I apologize for that. I've been trying to get ahead of it, but I can only do so much. So I need you to help me help you by making sure that you only communicate through official channels such as PiscesTarot.com. And if you are interested in doing a personal reading, don't hesitate to reach out, okay? I want to give a huge thank you to everyone who joined the conversation today, and a warm welcome to all of my new subscribers. Thank you to all the people who have gifted me not only your time, your talent, but your treasure. We are so close to 800 subscribers on YouTube, y'all. And that is so beautiful because I have not been doing this for very long, okay? We are a little short than a year. So if I can just get the last little 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people to go ahead and subscribe, we can hit that 800 mark, all right? And you have access to all of my content, okay? Now remember, y'all, everyone is fighting a battle that you cannot see. So be kind, patient, and gentle with others as much as you are yourself. How people treat you is not your business, but how you respond is. So no matter where you go today, I want you to leave a little bit of love, and I will see you next time. Bye.